Welcome to this webinar, which will focus on Governor Cuomo's new $175 million Workforce Development Initiative Consolidated Funding Application process. This webinar will cover two topics. First, an overview of this new initiative, as well as a set of general guidelines for applicants. The second part of the webinar will specifically focus on the Pay for Success program that exists within this new consolidated funding application. The new $175 million Workforce Development Initiative has programs and funding from 5 different New York State agencies: the SUNY system, CUNY, Empire State Development, the New York State Department of Labor, and the New York State Energy Research and Development Authority. This new initiative was announced in Governor Cuomo's 2018 State of the State and was released for open applications in May of 2019. The governor's announcement was coupled with the creation of a new executive office of workforce development based in Governor Cuomo's executive chamber to coordinate and improve the transparency of workforce development efforts across New York State. Critically, this is a no-deadline funding application process, which does differ from a number of other New York State funding opportunities. There are 2 phases for review within this no-deadline funding process. First, an evaluation by the local Regional Economic Development Council's Workforce Development Committee. And the second phase review is conducted by an interagency panel made up of the funding agencies participating in this consolidated funding application. This new CFA process has a priority focus on projects that support the regional workforce development strategy as articulated by the Regional Economic Development Councils to serve populations that have traditional barriers to career participation and advancement, and ultimately a focus as well on how to improve the flexibility of workforce systems across New York State and workforce providers to address industry needs. This new proposal and process really does encourage applicants to focus on innovation, thinking about how to create new ways of ensuring that individuals in New York State have access to training opportunities that will lead to meaningfully improved economic outcomes. And so as we open up the application process to the public, we are not requiring applicants to pick a specific program to apply for in the first phase of the review process, rather to focus exclusively on their idea and how their proposed project will improve economic outcomes for New Yorkers. The second phase of review will include a tie to specific funding programs and applications as defined by the 5 participating agencies. But again, we encourage applicants to focus slightly less on what the underlying program is that their proposal may apply for, and instead to really focus on what's the best way that the organization believes they can achieve the ultimate goals of the program. I will now turn to speaking specifically about the Pay for Success program within the Workforce Development Initiative. Again, this is a proposal, a program that will be opened up to an applicant on the Phase 2 part of the process if their application seems to meet the following criteria, which will be discussed in today's webinar. The Pay for Success program is intended to provide flexible funding for innovative workforce development projects that both support strategic regional efforts on workforce development and meet business workforce challenges. Those challenges can include meeting long-term industry needs, improving regional talent pipelines, enhancing the flexibility and adaptability of local workforce entities, and also expanding apprenticeships. This is a non-exhaustive list of the types of opportunities that could be funded through the Pay for Success program. The Pay for Success program is limited to eligible applicants among the following criteria. The first is training providers with 2 or more employees or who have the equivalent of 2 or more full-time employees. Eligible applicants also include organizations, nonprofits, and local governments that have the capacity to manage transformative workforce projects. Business enterprises operating in New York State or planning to operate in New York State are also eligible to apply. Finally, this program does not have match requirements, but leverage funds will be evaluated favorably during the evaluation process. So applicants are encouraged to include information about other sources of funding when they apply. The Pay for Success program will also ask applicants in a Phase 2 application to provide a demonstrated record of securing employment for training participants following the completion of the program. Among the types of projects that are eligible for the Pay for Success program include programs that connect job seekers to employment while also providing employment training, education, and other services to job seekers with ultimately a focus on employment. To ensure a successful application, applicants do have to articulate the types of services that will be provided through the training program to meet the intended outcomes of the proposal. To receive the full amount of funding within the Pay for Success program, an applicant will have to show after 6 months after the conclusion of a training program that an individual who has gone through the program has attained employment and retained their job. Also, as part of the Pay for Success program, applicants must articulate and attest that they will have funds on hand to support the project through the end of the initial milestone that is agreed to within the application during the contract process. Contracts will be for the length of 1 year. There will be the possibility of extension as appropriate if the performance measures are being met as articulated in the initial application. The Workforce Development Initiative does have a focus on priority populations. That is also the case within the specific Pay for Success program, which includes a focus on individuals who come from these types of constituent groups, but this is not an exclusive list. Among the types of priority populations the Pay for Success program will be evaluating favorably are programs that focus on veterans, individuals with disabilities, those who are formerly incarcerated, the long-term unemployed, and recipients of temporary assistance and the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. If you have any questions about the Pay for Success program or the overall Workforce Development Initiative, we encourage you to visit our website, which is www.ny.gov/workforce-development. On that website, you can find a full set of the program guidelines, an overview of the entire Workforce Development Initiative, and also a portal to ask questions that may be specific to things that have not been covered in those printed materials. Thank you for your time.